Well, it's a tough one, team. Did we think that we were going to maybe pull back? Yeah, I was feeling a little bit of a pullback. Was I thinking 399 today? Nope. Wasn't thinking that one. So we got to talk about it here. We all got to take a look. Is this kind of a ending of a rally or is this a measured pullback? Let's talk about it with Joel Elconin. And of course, let's take a look at all the red out there because definitely looks like a sea of red in my scanners. Let's get to it. At the close, what did you guys see today? Is there anything that's looking strong? Let us know.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, Joel? Let's get you on. Let's take a look into the market. We're taking a hit?
Yeah. Yep.
They took a major hit.
I don't know what we can blame it on. You guys, you can look at the SPY. I'll look at the SPOOs. We had no shot at that pre-market high. We had no shot at the close. That 10 o'clock number, whatever, good, bad, and different. Yeah. We're too hot, too strong. Took it out to the woodshed then. Took out Friday's low. My numbers didn't even go this low today. So I think what would be a minor win for the Bulls would be a close above Friday's low, and that was 40.06.75. The Bucks doing okay, up 75 cents. Big turnaround off that 104 area, up 75 cents at 105 and a quarter. Your TLT interest rate worries down $1.63, 105.45. Crude, okay. Like when Mitch goes all those things about what OPEC's saying, and Dennis and I say we have no idea what that means. It means we have no idea what it means. And it's down 260 at 77.38. We could talk about ExxonMobil here in a few minutes. You have gold pulling back down 29.60, 17.80. Silver losing almost $1, down 85 cents at 22.40. You could use that at SI for that one. Oh, you like to use pass?
Try use AG, pass.
Try SI. You ever do SI?
No, I can't. SI will be literally Silvergate for me. I don't have the futures on here, so I need to get them. I can get them.
Well,
so
what's the ETF? Is it SL? Isn't there a silver ETF?
Oh, the silver ETF.
Isn't there?
Man. I think there is. I don't trade silver very often. Maybe the chat gets it right here.
It's not at SI. What is it? I haven't traded it. SIL? SLV.
SLV. There you go. The Silver Trust ETF. The iShares. There you go.
Lalo G's reading our minds about we're going to talk about Santa Claus. But anyways, we'll finish up. Bad day for silver, bad day for gold. Bitcoin pulling back slightly just ahead of the big Benzinga conference this week in New York. That's down $1.65, 16,830. That's down 160 if you're trading the Bitcoin futures.
How's that grayscale? Been thinking a lot that grayscale. I wonder what's going to go on with it. Remember when that thing came out? Everyone was still excited. That excitement didn't last very long. All right, let's get into it.
Well, it's interesting. It traded at a huge premium for a while. Now it's trading at a huge discount. So I don't know, Mitch. I'll let you steer here. Let me know what you want to look at, and I'll do it. Let's start with Lalo G's comment because this is what you and I were talking about. Mid-month seasonality, right?
Yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Well, maybe he wanted to come to town from 39.80, 39.90. He just didn't have the jets on the skis to move us up for 40 from 4,100. Mitch, give us your scenario on that.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking about was we definitely got some good Black Friday numbers. Let's just say that. I mean, it could have been inflation, but even if it was inflation, the nominal number was higher than last year. That was one thing that we were going to look for. I think that gave a certain rally in certain type of stocks. Might have not been all stocks, but we definitely saw a rally recently. Like a perfect example for me would be like a Best Buy, right? We saw Best Buy really take off. The earnings helped it, right, on that Tuesday. That was the 22nd. Then, of course, Black Friday helped it continue to push. It pushed higher. And now we finally get a little bit of a turnaround. Does it mean that these stocks are falling completely off the wagon? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. But one thing that could have been is, did we get maybe kind of like a cyber week, and I'll call it that, to get a little bit of a run into the beginning of December? And then normally, seasonality wise, we get weak in the early December time. And then that leads to, again, a Santa Claus rally. And another thing that I was talking also with a guest of mine was that there's going to be some rebalancing coming up also, right? For like mutual funds and kind of things. Could this have played into this little sell-off today? It could have. Let's just be honest. It could have definitely played into it, as you get maybe some rebalancing going on in the background, as some people are probably adding to maybe some winners, maybe cutting some losers, right? Something to keep in mind as we get closer and closer towards the end of the year. All right, let's go looking underneath the hood. The best way to do it, right, is to start with the leadership. Let's start it off with Apple, because it gave a little bit of a bull trap opening. And I was noting it. I was like, what is going on? Apple's pretty strong here. SPY's right down towards the low. What is going on? Why is this separation happening? Will it come back into play? No, the SPY led down, and Apple gave that little trap to 150 and turned right back down.
Boy, I'm glad I wasn't looking at that off the open, because I
You
would have
see?
that, the top component, holy mackerel, made a new high for the week by like a wide margin, 50.92. But what that's history, right?
Mm-hmm.
50.92. What we need to do is we need to focus on what's relevant. And what's relevant is that you better get away from for the Friday, Monday low scenario. 45.65, 45.77, currently trading just above 46. So after that, look out, nothing to a pair of lows to the mid 140 handle. Lows for the week 140.36, and that was buffeted by a 140.55 low. But obviously, stuff doesn't go straight up and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
go straight down. But I see a big level there for you Apple traders out there. Keep an eye. More downside if we can't hold that double bottom.
All right, let's run through it. Now, Google did look interesting. Also, kind of that bull trap look also. And these are the kind of the bull trap ones. And then I'll show you the ones that looked weak from our leadership. But Google coming back down to 99.50. I think a lot of people were just psychologically watching that 100 today to see if they would take their shot off that 100. I think some traders did take their shot. And as it came back down through that 100, they probably let it go.
Yeah, you got new high for the week here in Google. Took it out by 60 cents. Coming way back down, that was a good sale, even if you caught the close. But what I think I'd have to say, this has just had such a bad year that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's like some tax selling going on or everything, but this has already got whooped. If we're gonna really sell off into the end of the year, well, maybe they'll come after Google, but I got some better candidates than Google, just in the fact that it's just had such a rough year. Google, I don't even think it's had a year. Wow, end of the year right near an all-time high, 144.68. You made a new all-time high in February at 152.10. Then it's been absolute lights out here for Google. And splits. When the timing of those splits, man. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. And for this one,
Yeah.
Google and Amazon, you guys just waited too long to do your stock splits.
That's how it is sometimes. Amazon is still looking weak. This one looks to me like one of the weaker ones of the bunch here, as the dailies don't give me confidence for any kind of strength, really. If anything, it looks like it wants to head back down below the 90s here as we keep seeing this crackdown. we'll see if we come back towards those lows here. But definitely, by all means, that daily does not look good for me.
Well, I mean, you could say, what is it? The pot is half full or half empty, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that saying goes.
Maybe the cup
Because
is too.
uh, cup, yeah, that too. You're on the you're right here. I thought I adjusted my line to make it bigger, but several lows in this area, 90.82. This is already back through last week's low. Do we have last week's low in here? No, we're through last week's low. But I see a lot of lows in this area. Maybe if you want to be a little bit more patient, maybe see if you get a gap fill here. That would be to 89.48, and then turn around then. But in the in the area of southern ever lows, I'd probably be leaning on it if it wasn't for that gap fill. So there you go, Amazon coming back down for the lows of the year, and boy, this had 2 for 1. It didn't need no stock split. It split on its own. It ended last year at holy mackerel,
We had our stock split though.
166.72.
Another
Yeah.
one that had a
Wow.
stock split way too late in the game. Way too late in the game there.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that would have wanted to get in an Amazon in the pandemic rally, right? I know I would have been a part of that rally. And no one would probably wanted to have been jumping on the boat if they would have done that stock split earlier. And I probably missed a lot of that action that happened in Amazon in the pandemic. A lot of that being that, the stock was really expensive back then. And it was hard to maybe call the rally on something that's that expensive, right? That can drop, 100 points. Now it seems like it's a lot better, but we'll have to wait and see to when Amazon gets in a better environment, right? Not right now. Tesla, we all saw that just continue coming down. That's not a good outlook there. Of course, the China production. I did see some mentions out there that some people were saying that report was false. I didn't get confirmation either way. So in my eyes, it's false until they confirm it towards the other way. But we'll see. Right now, Tesla dropping fast. China sales, I think Xpeng gave us some insight. Remember, they gave us a bad Q4 outlook for them. That should give you some insight into what's going on maybe in China EV. You look at the other China EVs, they are coming down.
There was pressure on this from the opening bell. We did give you a level to look at. We looked at the bottom of your range from Friday, 191.11. That was the bottom of your range. Lo and behold, they rally at $2 off the open. Where they take it to 190, 127, and then flipped it around. Took out the low. Now, once again, you are matching your low, one of the lows from last week, from last Wednesday, right at this 180.50 area. Not trading much above it. After that, double bot. I don't know if you're just gonna slice through this 180 area. I see the pair of lows. Today's low, and then going back a few more. Then I see another pair of lows at 178.75 and 179. So, you felt like you missed the boat here on the decline, getting another shot in Tesla Motors here for closer to 180. Low of the move, 166.19. So if you're stepping out here, you got a clear risk down to that level.
All right. We already talked about how those oil stocks started giving it up. We'll see if they come back tomorrow. Of course, there's still outlook of what's going to happen with a lot of the oil. What will happen with Russia? Will they kind of battle back the price cap? All things to keep in mind right now. I know they were keeping the markets up this morning because of optimism in China opening. That really wouldn't be my thing that I would hold on for the oil trade. Really wouldn't be the thing that I would hold on to. So for me, the only thing that's going to really spike oil from here is if Russia really gets tough on oil now and says, well, yeah, we're not handling this price cap. We're going to take even further supply away from the markets. But then there's always kind of the talk out there. And I feel like Joel always has a tendency of putting me into a little bit of some logic there. With the oil markets, you never know what's going on. Like I heard some things of like ship to ship transfer is probably going to happen with Russian oil. And that's how they're going to get around the price cap. There's so much kind of shenanery that goes on in the oil markets that you got to be careful. And that's one thing
They're
that I've
pumping,
learned.
man.
I've learned that. I've learned it. I've learned it, man. And I think it took me trading oil a whole year to understand how much there's a lot to this game, especially in the oil markets. But let's continue going. We don't need to
Let's
talk
pull out
about
ExxonMobil. We gave a setup at ExxonMobil today.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Mitch,
all about if anyone wanted to take it. That was the hourly chart. That was right here.
No,
Boom.
it wasn't the hourly. Go, Mitch. I'm going to get mad.
I mean, in the afternoon on
Go
Friday,
to the daily. No, go to the daily. Come on.
Daily lows.
Why do you charge? Oh, because of the wicks. Why do your charts look so much different than mine? I got five lows right in the same area. I guess that one is elevated, but look at all those lows, man. I'm pointing at my computer here. Look at that. Friday. Remember when I did that? I tried to cover something up. Was that with you or was that with Spencer?
No, that was a classic one. I still remember that one.
Yeah, I've never lived that one down. I never.
That was the best. But don't worry, I'll add that one for the end of the year video. You know, I got you, Joel. Okay. All right, let's take a look there.
You know, you're looking at this. We got to finish with the ExxonMobil, Mitch, because we don't get these many setups. 5 lows in the same area, and then you broke down through it today. You know, that would have been one where finally, if you caught it, you got to look both ways at these areas. It's support, it's support, it's support. It's resistance, and it fell through that. So we had the 5 days of consolidation, broke through it. Now that level, boy, oh boy, I'd love to see this thing pop back up to 109.5. That's going to be major resistance. This could be a turn. This could be the turn in the oil stocks. I probably said that 100 times during this rally, but this is a big day. I mean, it broke that support. These have had historic runs. They've had historic years. Why have you been in oil the whole year? Okay. Why are you going to let or cat or deer? I mean, just this outsized return for ExxonMobil. What are you going to expect? The same thing next year? Well, if you do, you're a PIG pig. And you got to, I can see this. I'm not going to get super bearish. We get back over 109.50. It's different. Just these are such an unprecedented years. This is like, it's like ExxonMobil's a Reddit stock almost, you know? It's a meme stock the way it traded this year. So I'd be careful on this, folks. Don't be like, you know, saying, oh, if your stop was 107 and you pulled it and you say, I'm going to wait, I'm going to sell it on the bounce. Sometimes they don't give you a second chance. So, I mean, oil has done it all the time. They've done it the whole year. They bought the dip, but crude pulling back under 80. I don't know. It took out major support. Let's see if it can regain that support.
Don't be that oink. Don't be that piggy. One thing that we'll definitely keep watch to see is one thing that I would keep in mind about energy. I mean, at some point down the line, I don't know the timing aspect of it, but at some point, if something were to actually change in the Russia-Ukraine situation, I think this thing would just flip. And it'd be really quickly, because I don't think that countries would not go to Russia for oil if for some reason they would actually stop the war. I think personally, I think in the long run, yeah, they would come right back to Russia in the long run, because at the end of the day, oil's oil, right? But that's just the way I feel. I think it's something to keep in mind as we go into next year, that can always flip if for some reason something changed drastically in the supply and demand situation. Let's go towards the next stock. We did have a lot of ratings today. If you guys got some tickers to throw up, go ahead and throw them up. We got about 9 minutes left here. We're going to try to roll through some of these, and then, of course, we can take some from you guys out in the chats. One that did get an upgrade today that thought I had a decent day was MGM. But, of course, with the market pulling back, it couldn't hold that gap. I'm going to keep an eye on it here. Of course, Truist Securities did do a buy, raising the price target to 50. That's where I think I get a little bit interested, because it's not like a price target raised to like maybe 30 or 40 here. If they put 40, I wouldn't even pay attention to it. The 50 gets me a little bit interested. And a lot of this is what they said that could be on the heels of a strong 2023 Las Vegas Strip calendar. How do you feel about that, Joel? Feel that it's going to be strong in Las Vegas?
Who's on the calendar?
I don't know. It has to be. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Have you been out to Las Vegas?
I haven't been there in a while. At least I know I went like right before the pandemic, but other than that,
yeah. You know
I haven't
what?
been to Vegas in a long time.
I don't know if it's just, being involved in the markets all these years and investing and trading. And it's just, even before the pandemic, and my dad loved Vegas. But back when my dad was going out to Vegas, the market wasn't nearly, we had to pick up a phone call to make a commodity trade.
Right?
So yeah, and he was a great craps player. Did I ever tell you that you know who Sean Connery is? Or are you too young to remember Sean Connery?
I would
Remember?
say too young, but that just might be me that I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
the crap.
he was in a movie. I think it's called Diamonds Are Forever. But he was Bond. He
Oh,
was James
all
Bond.
right. I know diamonds are forever. I know my
Yeah,
bonds.
pretty sure that was the movie. And they were in the movie. If it wasn't Diamonds Forever, there's another movie where Sean Connery has to play craps and roll the dice. And my dad was at the table. My dad used to like to go to the dunes, and he really knew the game. He just like had the math, he had the strategies and everything. And so they asked my dad to teach him how to play craps for the movie. And so that was, oh man, that had to be like 100 years ago. But yeah, it's a good game. A lot of numbers. I mean, you need if there's at the table, one you got to have a good risk reward ratio in. Is you go to the table, you plop it down, and if you can get on a roll, you get on a roll. And then if the dice are cold, then you got to hit the road.
Roll it.
But yeah,
Oh, Jar Jar.
MGN at 50. This is right. What firm did that?
Truist Securities.
Okay. And I'm not making any prediction how long I live or don't live, but I don't think I'll ever see the day where MGM gets to $50.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm still waiting for them to spin off MGM Bets. I would love for that to happen, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Let's check out DraftKings. Whatever happened with all these stocks, Mitch?
Well, they're waiting. They're waiting for some more states. We need some more states to get legal, man. That's what it is. State by state, we need some more revenue, man.
All right, because people lost their money in all the other states, and now they got to.
Yeah, so we need to go to the new states. You just come and take another pool. One thing that I will tell you though is I think that the long run, DraftKings, MGM Bets, they get it right. They stick around long enough. I think so. But let's keep going. We'll take another outlook. What about the airlines today? And I will give full disclosure.
Oh, yeah.
I took my shot in American today. But let's go to UAL, which was the one that got the raise, which was Morgan Stanley upgrading United Airlines to overweight from eco-weight. I took my shot in American. We'll see what happens now.
Boom. Oh, boy. You had the higher open. Just missed the gap fill by 2 pennies. So they gave you a shot in that one. You hit 45.86. You're making a move on the monthlies, but you're going to have to prove to me that this 44 area is going to be more than just 1 day worth of support. It is support in today's, right? You made a daily high just above 44 and you got a gap. So I'm not fading it. But a lot of times, you see former resistance, right? And everyone's going to tell me there's some buy imbalances right now because the spruce just popped 6 handles. And I'm going to say, yeah, they're buying balances, but they'll probably get squared off. But anyways, we got the pop back over 4,000. That's good psychologically. 06 and a quarter. That was Friday's low. It'd be nice to close over that, but a little pop off the buying balances. But good move. I mean, Morgan Stanley, you got it right today. DAL, that Oh, it did get through 36. Wow, man, this is a reverses. This thing is a tricky. Look at that. You got through
Yeah.
36. You're looking for 37, and then Mr. Markey comes in and goes, and you're all flailing on the floor and everything. We came down to the top of yesterday's range. I'll be keeping a close eye tomorrow. Who knows what market conditions are going to be? But if we can catch a bid here, right in this area, hold this double top, yeah, boom, and turn around and turn back up. But just got a little overdone, and then Mr. Market came in and said, too much, and they gave it back. What about love? LUV, what a great symbol. Love, good day, same thing. Back up over 40, couldn't hold. Spoozer continuing to rip here, folks. 4005. Nice little turnaround here. EKS says you finally a reversal. Well, let's see Unity. It had its gravitation. Phil, failed at the previous day's high, took out your lows from Thursday and Friday, your first red bar in a long time. I agree with you on EKS. A little over overbought here, up even at this $38 level.
All right, let's go to some of the earnings stocks that we'll be reporting after. I can take a look at tomorrow. That's what I'm really trying to look at. It looks like I got after the close today. You got some smaller ones: IDT, GitLab, Powell Industry. Powell Industries, man, is that run by Powell? No, it's not. We'll see what else
You're going
is
off
going
the
on.
board on. You're going off the board on me on some of these, man.
Yeah, IDT, of course, you guys know that's like a telecom company. Some smaller companies right now. But tomorrow, before the open, that's what I wanted to kind of state here. You get AutoZone. That's not a bad one to kind of keep an eye out for, right? What about AutoZone after this little bit of a pullback? I know I can't touch these stocks. They're just too expensive, and it's just difficult for me to even call it. But how do you see AutoZone?
Boy, I'd be hitting the auto exit if I own this thing. Big run up, a bad day, reversal day on Thursday, fought back on Friday, down again today. I mean, I'm not buying into the report. And if this thing, I would just say if I had a large position, they started to rip it in this report, I would just start layering it at like, I'd start at like, oh, wait, we're so far away from 2,600. I'd start layering it at like 2560, 2570. And then I put a big boatload out there at 2579. That was your monthly closing high. And that was probably, we just did the turn of the month. I don't know. I couldn't go long in the report, and I wouldn't hesitate to sell a dip. Didn't we have one of these report a little bit ago and it got hit? Was it?
Yeah, that was
It wasn't
Advance Auto Parts.
Advance. Yeah, I'd be nervous. Okay, we're
Advance Auto
closed.
Parts.
A
There we
A
go.
O'Reilly. Oh, look at that. I'd be afraid. Okay, we got back over 4K. We didn't
got
get back
back
over
there.
Fridays though. Not a bad day, not a horrible day. We'll see what happens tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for sitting through the little bit of the technical problems last week. You're not completely fixed yet, but I am having Bill Gates come over later to look at my computer. So
You guys see
everyone
that?
have a good day. Mitch, great job. Have a good night. Go Blue.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, and definitely saw a lot of people mentioning Boyle in the chat. We'll see what happens on UNG and Boyle. I've been trying to stay away from it in the short term because it's just been so hard. Every time that I've even looked for the upside, I have not gotten the continuation. So for right now, I'm going to be more on the sidelines for the natural gas play. Maybe I miss a little bit of the run, but right now it looks like it's down to 28 on Boyle. I would be avoiding it until we get back at least past 50. But think about it in that sense. That's a 50% move from here. So it's very hard to call Boyle. There's a reason why they call it the Widowmaker, but that's all I'll give you. Rip those thumbs up. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Keep battling right here. Benzinga tomorrow. Don't miss it. Pre-market prep. And of course, later in the week, we got our event, The Future of Crypto, FinTech Awards, and definitely get the thumbs up because we're going to keep going. Benzinga is going to have a big 2023. And a lot of that is going to be on you guys out there. So we have been giving a form to get some feedbacks. We're going to continue collecting that form. And one thing that I will give you guys an outlook for is look forward towards my book club as I try to start a financial book club for Benzinga here starting in the year. Look out for that. That's going to be, I'm going to give you a form out starting, I think tomorrow I can get that form ready for us. So we'll start collecting some emails. The big thing is I want to go ahead and try to give you guys even more value, trying to get through books, giving you presentations based on these books so that we can up our skills. Because if we're not upping our skills, I mean, what are we doing here, team? That's what it's all about. That's what I'm here for. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, especially if you're brand new, and we'll see you guys in the AM.
We'll be right back.